Yeah, we're live again, man. Well, good day, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Toyib Abdul Kabir. I'm a Flutter developer. I'm a software developer because not just Flutter. I develop for web. I develop for I develop backend system. I develop my mobile applications using Flutter, Kotlin, and Swift. So I'm a software developer. Let's just say it like that. So today we'll be talking about this guy here. As you can see, the name is FVM, like Flutter Version Manager. It's a simple CLI to manage Flutter SDK versions. So why do I have to like manage Flutter like different Flutter SDK versions on my laptop? Well, there are reasons. There are many reasons. A lot of reasons. Like a lot of reasons. First and foremost reason is to to avoid problem, right? To avoid problem, just use the right version for any project you're working on. Like use the required version for that project to avoid problem. I repeat, to avoid problem, right? So that is number one reason. And number two is it's just like to experiment, to be able to like easy switching from one version to another instead of completely deleting a version because it's not working, and returning going back to to Flutter website to install another version. So that's switching, the stress not be there. You just need to like run simple commands using this guy, and you are up and running. So that is that about that. So now, how do we use FVM? Like, how do we have it? Is it on our laptop by default? No, it's not there by default. You have to like install it, from here, from fvm.app, fvm.app. So that's where you install from. This is the link here. So let's get started, right? What are we waiting for? Nothing. So on get started page, do just like why you should, say inconsistent development environment between other dev in the team. More major Flutter updates require migration of all Flutter apps on the machine. No way of keeping track of latest, worked or used version note. And the likes. The switching between channel is slow, require installing every time. Testing new SDK feature requires switching between channels. So all those are the reasons why you need to be using FVM. Look at this guy now. Look at this me. FVM, no, not me and you, but Flutter run, not me and you. But yes, FVM Flutter run. You can use that, right? So, what are the principles? We follow these principles when building another feature. Always use FVM or Flutter tools when interacting with the SDK. So do not write it. It's just like normal Flutter command. You just need to prefix FVM in front of it, just like this one. FVM, Flutter run before now, but with FVM, just do FVM Flutter run. So sweet, nothing, no stress. So now, how do we install this guy? Come here. We'll go to installation part. So depending on the OS you are using, like the system you are using, if you are using Mac, not laptop. If you are using Mac, you use this one. But if you are using a laptop, sorry, if you are using a Windows laptop, you use this installation process. If you are using Linux OS, if you install Linux OS on your laptop, then you'll be using this, and you are using Mac OS, you'll be using this step. So they are both kind of like the same. So if you don't have, like say you don't have Flutter installed anywhere on your laptop before, like you've not installed Flutter before, so you can just go on with this. And if you have it before already, but you want to use FVM to manage it, you can just run this command here to do it. So I think I've installed this guy already. So if you look at my laptop here, clear, so FVM version. In fact, I'm using the latest version, so 2.4.1. So that's the current version, and that's what I'm using. So that about installation. It's very straightforward. No easy. Sorry, it's very easy. No stress. That's what you want to do. You want to remove stress out of your development process, right? So now, configurations. So because you bought a TV doesn't mean you have to start watching it. You can start watching it immediately. You have to like plug it, connect antenna, put it outside and say show it clear, clear. All those kind of settings. You have to do that. before everything can set or can soft. So if you are using FVM, like when you specify a Flutter version to be used by projects using FVM, some things will happen, right? This folder will be created in your project. This this directory fvm.fvm, then this guy will be created in your directory. So what are these guys? So the fvm is just a folder, just like .git. .fvm is a folder, but the flutter underscore SDK inside that folder is like a shortcut to the version you are using for that project. Does that make sense? It is a shortcut or a symlink to the version of Flutter you are using for that project. And inside that same.fvm, there is another folder. Another file. It's a JSON file. It contains like some configuration, most especially the version of the Flutter you are using. So we are going to be opening these projects. So just open this. Let me open this. Okay, yeah, it is opened, right? So this is the fvm.fvm here, and this is the underscore fvm underscore SDK, which is the current version I'm using for this project, and the version is what 3.10.0. So they said there's an adage that says seeing is believing. Thank you. So let me show you one shege that you can face if you are not using FVM. Yes, if you are not using FVM. This Flutter, this project now is using 3.10.0. If I should do FVM, I have some command here. So these are like the list of Flutter version that I've installed. So let's say I want to cause problem. I want to use 2.0.0 and FVM used to use 2.0.0. So this is if you want to use a specific version, a Flutter version, you have to do you run FVM. Don't worry, we'll get to that part later. So I just want to show you why you have to use FVM. So I want to do let's say I'll do Flutter FVM. FVM Flutter for get. You know what this is. So just remove stress. You can run any command with it. You can see it's saying that the current SDK is 2.12 AB, and the super app, the project I'm working on requires this kind. Okay, let's now say I now do strongget, and I say okay, instead of you now using that 2 point, I want to use that 2.2 here, because normally you can do all these things. Just all those ojuros that we do at times. What happened like this? I said this. So yeah, so FVM Flutter object. Don't worry. Yeah, let's continue first. Okay, let's say that is what was in the current Flutter advice. Yeah. So all those configuration we did earlier, this configuration here is what the editor is using to run. Is what it will use to know which Flutter version you are using, like to know which SDK to run for these commands that it's trying to run for you. Do you understand? So if you don't do them, you have to be using the terminal for most of the commands that you're using, and even up to FVM Flutter. So let's see. So you can see here now we've passed the stage of what's the name? We've passed the stage of some this kind of stress. Flutter version, this one requires this version, this one doesn't want this version, or it's just like it's always messy. So it's better to just avoid them. And how can you avoid them? One of the ways you can avoid them is using FVM, or let me say the simplest way you can avoid them is using FVM. So let me switch it back to yeah. So let's now say I want to use a version that doesn't exist. It exists, but I've not installed it on my laptop yet. So I should press 5. Yeah. So it's going to ask, it's going to tell me this guy is not installed, this version is not installed. Do you want to install it? Yes or no? Me, I'll take no. But if you want to do it, it's you do yes. If you do yes, it's going to install it. So I'll take no because I don't need it yet. So yeah, that is that about the use case, just for you to see and see why you need it. So we've done that. So now this another configuration is the catch path. The catch path is like, it's not like, it is where the Flutter versions are installed, right? When, like, it is where the Flutter SDK are installed. When you run the FVM Flutter or FVM, you can either, if you want to install a specific version, you need to, and you want to see the list of sorry, this catch directory is where any Flutter SDK you try to install, any version you're trying to install, it is that path that you specify here in this catch path. That is where those Flutter will be, that version will be installed, or any Flutter version you try to install, that is where it will be installed. So yeah, so that is where it will be installed. So going to the next step, or to the next thing. So how? So these are VS Code. All I say VS Code configuration. Settings. I have it here also, and that is what this guy is using. So you can see the SDK path is pointing to the one inside this project, like the .fvm flutter underscore SDK, because it is pointing to where the version, this SDK that this project is using. So I have to give it, so that if it's trying to help me to run any command for Flutter, for example, the pub.get is trying to install, when I edited the pub.spec.yaml file, you will see that it's trying to do pub.get for me. So I have to also try to help it by providing it the Flutter SDK path that it needs to, where it's going to find the SDK to use to run that command. You understand? So that is why you have to do this configuration, or else you have to be running your distance from terminal. So if you want to use, we've done that. If you want to use a desired version of Flutter, or Flutter SDK in the project, you just do Flutter. You do FVM use. So when you do use FVM use, then you provide the version. It's going to use it. If you have it installed, it will use it. If you don't have it installed, it will not use it. It will not use it. Yes. Sorry. If you don't have it installed, it will ask you to install it. Yeah. So that is that. So there is also for Android Studio configuration, but I'm using VS Code here. So now let's go into basic command. You already know how to use Flutter command before now. You know how to use it before, so it's just straightforward. Just prefix FVM, then followed by the Flutter command you want to run. Labas. Okay, there are some that we still have to go through. For example, if you want to install a version, a specific version, right? Just run FVM install the version, right? So you just run FVM install, it will install the config, the one found in the config, but just provide the version and you just go. So if you want to remove, you remove a version. If you want to list a version. So let's say we have FVM lists. I don't want to remove anything because I don't have data to install anything, so I will not remove anything. So if you want to install FVM install, let's see FVM release, because we need to find just find one old. Wow, see where FVM started, 0.1%. Sorry, I don't know how to spell it again. So you can see it's installing and likes, but because you can see it's trying to cloning into the path that I provided. So this part is my hard drive part, so it's trying to install everything there, but I don't need this. Another update, cancel it. Sorry. So that is that about that. And view all Flutter SDK. I won't show you before we get there. So FVM releases, you see the list of available Flutter version. Then FVM doctor shows information about the environment and project configuration. So that's what it does. Just like Flutter doctor. But so with FVM doctor is different from Flutter doctor. This FVM doctor is for the project. right? You can see version is currently cached locally. It's currently cached locally. Do you understand? The project I'm working on is this. The directory for the project is this. The version is this. Flavor not selected, and the version is and configuration configured env path. Like all these ones are Italica. So that is, and that one is different from FVM Flutter Doctor. The FVM Flutter Doctor is the Flutter Doctor that we run on, to show, to detect if there's anything wrong with our Flutter setup and like. So that is that. So that is, yeah. So that is that. So now the next thing is running Flutter. So like I said, you already know how to do. You already know how to use Flutter commands, right? You already know how to use Flutter command. You can see it says use FVM Flutter then command instead of Flutter then command. The same thing goes for that. FVM that command instead of that command. You understand? So instead of using, if you want to do Flutter or you want to do pop get now, instead of doing Flutter pop get, right? This will go. Oh, sorry, did not go because I don't have Flutter installed. Like I said, I did not install Flutter when I got laptop. I started using FVM straight away. So instead of this, just do FVM Flutter pop get. You can see still the same command, but with addition of what? FVM. And the whole thing will work and continue like that. So benefits: find relative project configuration, monorepo. You can read all this one from here. I don't need to do that. So yeah. So that's basically how you want to. That's basically how you can use FVM to save yourself sometimes, or like a lot of times of the bugging and the likes, while running multiple projects on your laptop, instead of trying to want to upgrade the version of the package that it's very good, very very good, but it can take a lot. It's something you should do at leisure time. If it's not the main work, do the main work. After you are done, you can now say, okay, I want to upgrade this guy to the latest version of Flutter. That's totally fine. But while you have some like major works to do, you can use FVM to save yourself from time of unnecessary, I'll say unnecessary debugging, and go straight to the work or to the project, with the feature you want to integrate, anything you want to do, and yeah, you're safe. You should look at me now. I have different Flutter versions installed, and no matter what the project wants, I'll just look at it. Okay, so this guy has been removed now. It's not there again. So I can just anytime. I don't need to go to Flutter website to go install or to go and download again. I'll just use this command FVM install the version straight up. Right? Please be using FVM. Use FVM. Use FVM. Thank you.